In this tutorial we're going to take a look at doing a bank reconciliation. A bank reconciliation is one of those functions in RentHQ that I consider to be pretty important, but not a lot of people use it. If you come from an accounting background, then bank reconciliations are pretty simple, but if you don't, then this can be quite confusing, can be a bit difficult to get your head around what it is that we're trying to achieve. So hopefully this tutorial will help demystify it. What a bank reconciliation is, it's a comparison between what's entered in the RentHQ, in particular what's on the cash book screen, and what's on your bank statement. The bank statement is always assumed to be correct. So what we want to do is make sure that what we've got in RentHQ matches the bank statement. So this is all about checking that what we've entered is correct. It's very easy to make mistakes, especially if you're manually entering transactions. Like you may have missed a transaction, or you may have inadvertently added an extra zero to an end of a rent payment or something like that. So this will try to catch some of those sorts of errors. So to do a reconciliation, you need a copy of your bank statement. You can either get a copy if your bank posts you one, then that's great, you can use that. If not, then you can probably go to your bank's website and get a copy of your transactions, print them out and get them from there. Now for purposes of this demonstration, what I've done is I've put together a very simple spreadsheet. Now let's pretend that this is our bank statement. So we've got some transactions, the date, the description, money that we've withdrawn, money that we've put into the account, and we've also got a running total balance as well. So for the purpose of this demonstration, this is my bank statement. So to do a bank reconciliation, go over to Transactions and choose Reconciliation. I'm going to add a new bank reconciliation. If you've got multiple bank accounts, you need to do a separate reconciliation for each bank account separately, because you'll get different bank statements. So for this demonstration I'm using the second account. Now the first thing we do is we enter in the opening and closing bank account balance, dates and values. So if we go to our bank statement, we can see the opening account balance on this date of 1,000. So let's put that in. Opening bank account balance date and the amount of 1,000. You can also see we've got a closing bank account balance on this date for 1,440. So we'll put that in. Now down the bottom here it says that there is a variance, and what it's done is it's taken the opening account balance, it's added all the transactions that we've entered into the cash book, and it does not equal the closing balance. So we've got an error, so we have to fix that. If I try to save it, it will tell me that I have to fix the errors before I can save it. So now we've got to find our error. Now the first thing we do is we take a look at our transactions and we compare what's on our bank statement with what we've got over here in this list. So the first transaction we've got on the 4th of the 8th, we've got some rent of 250, which is exactly the same as that one, so that's good, that's perfect. Next we have an expense of some sort of 100, which will be that one there, so that's good, perfect. Next we have a withdrawal of $10, an expense of $10. Now that's missing over here. So there we go, there's an error already. We can see that on our bank statement, our bank has charged us some bank fees of 10 and we haven't entered it into our system yet. So how do we fix that? It's quite simple. We have to enter it into RentHQ. So we go to the cash book, I add a new transaction. It was a bank charges, so I'm going to choose bank. The amount was 10. The date was the 4th. I'm going to choose general as the property because it's not specific to any particular property, and I'm going to choose this second account because that's the one I'm working with, and I'm going to save that. Now if there was any more missing, we'd go and create all those as well. Now we go back to our reconciliation and we do our reconciliation again. We choose the opening and closing bank account balances, same as before. Now we can see there's still a variance of 85, so we're not quite there yet. There's still an error somewhere. So let's go back and compare our transactions again. So now we've got the 250, that's that one. We've got the 100, that's that one. We've now got our bank fee, that's that one there, so that's good. Next we have rent of 300, yep, that's that one there. And that's it, there's no more transactions, but it still says there's an error. So now we do the comparison back the other way. $10 expense, yep, that's that one. $250 income, yep, that's that one. Repairs of 100, that's that one. $85, there we go, got an error. We've got an expense of 85 which doesn't appear on our bank statement. So let's investigate this one a bit further. Now I know this one here is actually a check that I've written out, and I posted the check to the lawns person, and I posted that this morning. So I know that the person who's done the lawns wouldn't have received that check yet. Therefore that amount has not been deposited into the bank account, and therefore it will not appear on our bank statement. So how do we resolve that? Well, this one's actually quite easy. We just come over here and we just untick that transaction. So these transactions that are ticked are the ones that are included, the unticked ones are excluded. Now after I've unticked that, you'll see down here there is a variance of $0. So that's perfect, it's now balances exactly right. So I can now press save, and that reconciliation is complete. Now if I was to do another reconciliation, let's say the following month, choose the same bank account, that expense of 85 that I said hadn't been deposited yet automatically appears on the next bank statement, because by the time we come around to do the next reconciliation, there's a reasonable chance that that check will have been cashed and it will now appear on our bank statement. So hopefully that's demystified bank reconciliations a bit more.